tell you I feel, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I'm blessed, yeah, yeah, yeah. Said I'm blessed, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm blessed, yeah, yeah, yeah. Said I'm blessed.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on Historic 980 WVDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
And hello.
Hello.
And it is what, Monday?
Happy Monday.
You know what? Hey, Johnny.
Hello.
Deacon do wrong. And hello to all of our listening audience. I was looking at the map, y'all. Because you know we
Wait a minute. Which map were you looking at, Brenda?
the radio map. The map that shows
radio map.
the radio map that shows what our reach is. And I was like, oh my goodness. I said, I don't know why it didn't dawn that we AM and FM.
Yeah, 980 AM.
Yeah. And you know, so we got a huge reach. I was like, all I know is Sandersville and Albany, and we just all
Sandersville. That's
Yeah.
my mama's hometown.
That's mine too.
Yeah.
That's mine too. So
TJ Elder High.
oh, all right now.
Mhm.
Y'all know what's going on in March, right? Emily, you know what's in March? Do you know what's going on in March, Johnny?
Easter.
No, I do know. I know.
Don't
This
act like,
week-
don't act like
this
y'all
week-
don't know. Don't
Well,
act like
this is
y'all don't
what I know
know.
is going on in March. So we're having our Men's Day program this Sunday, but guess what? It's Women's Month, and I got confused at church. Yeah, I got confused because they announced
That is
that-
gonna be
it's Men's Day program on this Sunday, but then when they got up to make the announcements, they said, "All right, ladies, it's Women's Month," and I'm like, "Well, why are we having Men's Day and Women's Month?"
well, you know,
I just got confused.
Let me just say, you know, there could be some gender confusion going on at your church.
No, I don't
Now,
think.
I don't know.
Well, if
But
it is, I don't know
you know
about
what I'm
them.
saying, Emily.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you gonna have the Men's Day and during the Women's Month unless there's some gender confusion going on?
No,
at your
I
church?
think that was an oversight. And everywhere, I think in every church, the women are being so assertive. I mean, women all around the planet, really, at least in America. Black girl magic and woman power and this and that and the other. And I think that it's a beautiful thing. I might be the only one with my opinion, but I thought it rather confusing. I thought it was rather confusing to have a Men's Day program during Women's Month.
Oh, I think it's very confusing.
Yeah, for me.
You know
it
what
is.
I need for you guys to do? I need y'all to hit that share button. I need everybody on my page, on my Facebook page. I need y'all to hit the share button. Henry would like to it make him feel a whole lot better.
What's up, Big Hen?
Hey, Henry.
Hey, Hen, you think we're gonna get? We think we're gonna get Justin Fields, or you think we're gonna get Russell Wilson?
I think that what you're going to get is what you've been getting for the last couple of seasons is a bunch of losers.
There again, it's men's conversation, but we got a woman contributing.
Oh, wait a minute. Why is it a man's conversation?
Because it was just Henry and I.
'cause
It was just Henry and I about the football.
Henry ain't talking.
Oh, just about the football.
That's all I'm saying.
Henry ain't talking. Henry ain't.
But she just could not let us have that.
No, I cannot.
Jeez.
No, I cannot. First of all, I want to offer up some prayers to Gwen Westbrook, who lost a dear friend. I took and put that in our All of a Sudden page.
Yeah, we certainly send out our sincerest prayers.
Right to her. She's really going through. And also one of our members, Tina Davis, lost her dad this past week. And
Yeah,
so,
Tina, you got our prayers, sincerest prayers as well.
you know, and you know, people be talking about, I'm gonna pray for, you know, some folk you don't be wanting to pray for you, but you know, I understand.
Lord.
Well, you know, some people, well, at least they ain't touching me and praying. You know what I mean? I don't be wanting everybody to touch me. I don't want everybody.
Let me
to
just
touch
say to the listening audience, I am asking Emily to stay tuned today. Get out of your phone. Pay close attention to Brenda. As soon as you see her mouth formulating a certain sentence or word, stop her.
You know what? It's your turn this week.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
It's your
Are
turn.
you still tired from last week?
Yes. Exhausted.
You don't need to be exhausted. I am. You know what? Let me just say this. I'm going to be 67 on March 12th.
Are you?
I'm going, and look here, I'm going to take
Oh, Brenda, you don't look a day over 66.
Like you don't look a day older than 75.
I'm 77 though. See, I'm still working.
All I can say is I'm going to take and put my cat, you know, that's some, wait
a minute, do what?
I'm going to put my Cash App out there so I can get some presents.
Oh, I thought you said you was going to put your cat out there.
I didn't know.
My cat, no.
Yeah, no, leave that cat at home. Leave that cat
the cat don't need to go nowhere.
No.
You know, I got in trouble about the cat.
My cat is so sweet. He's a sweet little.
Yeah, what's the cat's name? Naturalista?
My cat's name is Simba.
Oh, okay.
Simba.
I'm sorry.
And my
from
dog,
the Lion King.
By the way, and I have a little dog, and his name is Prince. How about Prince and learn how to? And this is no joke. And this drives Henry crazy. He's like, "Whoa, why are we even having a conversation about the dog?" Emily, he can zip down zippers.
Who?
With his paw. The dog. We got like a pen.
Yes.
Oh, so you need to be on America's Funniest Videos.
I really do. I gotta tape this dog doing this because he's a little Yorkie.
Yeah, tape it.
So,
film it.
And we've got like an inside pen where the dog. I'm like, how is this? You know, the zipper part, the big part, is on the outside. So I'm like, how is he? I'm serious about this, Johnny. I came in. I looked. You know, we got those. 2-story. Like that. And he got his little head looking down at me like, hey, how you doing?
These animals are, they're absolutely amazing. They're funny.
I was like, you know what, little dog, if you accidentally slip through them cracks, all right, that's it for you. Because, it's
they're intelligent, though.
Yeah, I know.
You think that they're animals like, just what it's a cat, it's a dog, whatever. But these animals are actually very intelligent. Mine is still a baby. He's still a kitten. He's 5 months old. And I mean, my mom started laughing at me the other night. She said, that cat done got the best of you. I mean, that cat literally had me crawling around on the floor trying to get him. He done went up under the couch. He done went behind the TV. And I'm crawling around my floor on all fours like, come here. And he gets right in a spot where he knows that a human can't get back there. And then he just stares.
You know what? And you just want to whip him.
Yeah, and it makes you want to just grab him and choke him because they just stare at you like, look at you. Look at you on that damn floor like a fool.
And and I look at him, and first of all, Johnny Henry can't stand cats. I mean he can't stand cats, but he can't stand the dog. So the dog know if it barks, then Henry know he's out the cage, So when he do the breakout, when he do the Houdini dog thing, he real quiet. He don't be saying nothing. I'm like, cause he don't want nobody to know that he didn't broke out.
Yeah, he's smart.
And so, and then Henry
just like a human,
and then Henry be
male.
saying them bad words. Y'all know Henry. If you listen,
you just had to take a shot at it, didn't you?
What?
You didn't. She sneaked that in.
She ain't heard it. Keep going.
I ain't heard. No, I didn't heard it. I didn't heard. I was. And by the way, we're gonna be moving on to our topic. But somebody told me, they said, Brenda, they was real property when they talked. They says, Brenda, with all your education, you should enunciate words much better than that. Like, I guess they try to throw off like I should be speaking like Johnny speak, because Johnny enunciates all of his words and he uses...
No,
like,
sir,
please.
That is not it. It is the tip of the tongue taking the trip of 3 steps down the palate to tap a tune upon the teeth.
Like I said, tip of
the tongue taking a trip 3 steps down the palate to tap a tune upon the teeth. That's what
make me want to just
It's a vocal exercise.
I ain't doing all of that because the bottom line is, listening audience, don't you know what I'm saying? In fact, I need y'all to put some comments out there. They ain't been putting no comments out there. I need some comments.
Yeah, we need to check on Miss Sheila. You know, she always used to
Sheila, what's up? You and Faye?
Talk to us.
You and Faye ain't you know, I guess I'm gonna have to do a better job. That number to call in number is 478.
And Crawford too. We hadn't heard from Crawford.
You know what?
I hope everybody's okay.
I do too, because you know we have our loyal listeners. 478 Oh, hello. We have a call in. Oh, that's the call-in number. You know what? There it is right there. The call-in number. He took and put on screen. My crazy self talking about, oh, we got a caller. That just goes to show.
Brenda self-declared herself crazy. So we just let the record show.
Let the record show.
I'm so tired today. I cannot.
Wait a minute. I see her face everywhere I go.
Lord have mercy.
Don't be trying to get the heat off me.
Okay, people, what are we voting for now?
Well, let me just go through and we're not voting for anything right now. This week is is actually a qualifying week, so we don't know who's going to actually be running. Just, you know, because we won't know everybody until Friday.
But what I'm saying, I saw people voting, and I'm like, wait a minute, what did I miss?
I don't know.
But I've seen people like with the little stickers going, I voted today. And I'm like, wait a minute now. I'm usually up on stuff.
I don't know what they're voting for. And I'm typically up too. But I do know right now they're having qualifying this weekend. It's very interesting. I encourage you to keep your eyes on the prize so that you can know. I was going to go off on a soapbox. And usually, you know, I mean, I do. You know, it don't take much for me to go off, you know. But I'm like, you know, folk really need to take a look at these people who are running for office. Don't listen to all of that craziness they got going on, because a lot of them, you know, you need to vote for this one because he's black. You need to vote for this one because he's white. You need to vote for this one because he's a Democrat. You need to vote for this one because he's a Republican. You need to vote for this one because this one say this and that. You need to take a look at these candidates and see exactly, and believe what I'm telling you. You need to look at them and know what it is that they're about. Don't go on what's popular. Go on who you believe is going to do the best job, because some of these people are self-serving and they're only in office to serve themselves, not necessarily you in the community. And as we go forward, I'm going to start calling them out because they need to be called out. Now, I ain't going to call out all of them, but I'm going to call out some of them. And those who
call them all out.
Call them all out. And those who need medicine too. Because we got some people out there that need medicine. They need to go see Andrea Cook. You know what making mental health matters. Some people don't need to be in office. Some people need to be over there at River's Edge. I'm just saying. And it's the truth, Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll get out there and you don't see them. Y'all just need to think about all the people you didn't see until it was time for them to start running. And then they're going to start coming to the church and coming, hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. You know, you don't see them.
Yeah, so we really got to take advantage of voting. Coincidentally, this particular weekend, March 7th, is the anniversary of Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama, when they walked across the Edward Pettus Bridge. Yeah, and John Lewis and Hosea Williams. Yeah, so we really this is why it's so essential.
That was Alabama thing, you know.
It
Alabama
is
brawl.
It's Selma.
She thought it was the brawl that they had to witness.
No, in Selma, and Selma on
but you know what?
9 years ago.
Yeah, I think the thing about this about a group of people out there, they say, why should I vote? And then when you start digging up and you start talking about our history, they're like, well, you know, that was then, but it ain't like that now. I'm here to tell you it is like this now. And when you look at things from the perspective of,
and they were just trying to repeal the Voting Rights Act.
They were trying. Johnny, what year were you born?
In 60.
Okay. What year was the Civil Rights signed? Was it 64?
I think it's 65, I think.
64, 65. I was born in 1957. So what I'm going to say is this. My son is the first generation in our clan to be born, quote unquote, totally free. I was born in segregation. I was not free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, were you free?
Yeah, they try to make you think it was
They
way 500 years
They try to
ago.
make you think it was like way back when. No, it was not.
No, yeah, I told my son that. I'm like, that wasn't that long ago, Jim.
Yeah, and I can still beat most teenagers in basketball right now today.
But you know, the reason why
but
I bring it up,
Emily,
I bring it up is because I can remember, and I guess maybe we don't really make it out and talk to people, but then talking don't help people. I just want to say this. A lot of times folks say, well, you need to talk to them. I'm like, if talking help people, we wouldn't have criminals. We wouldn't have people using drugs. We wouldn't have all this killing and things like that because people been talking to you.
Yeah. Hey, Susan Smith.
Hey, Susan. So it ain't about folks talking. It's about whether people are listening.
Mm-hmm.
Listening is a gift.
And so I mean,
it
is because this voting thing, as far as, and we got politicians, we got some folk around here in this town who have, it's if you got to be in the right clique. Y'all know I ain't in the right clique, right?
I don't know, Brenda. The right clique for you is of the Caucasian persuasion.
So what? I'm 23%. I claim my 23%.
Brenda, I believe you're more like 83%.
Who? I'm 23%.
I think you're more like 83%.
I could be. I claim my European heritage because every now and then, and folks,
because it gets you into doors.
You know what? Y'all can talk all that trash if you want to.
That's okay. I'll be right behind you when that door open. I'll be right
sure
behind
is.
you.
Look,
I'm walking through it with you.
People try to pretend like, oh, I got it on my. No, you ain't get it on your merit. A lot of light-skinned people walk through those doors and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I got it.
Yeah, we every all of us need to have white friends because how else would we know why sharks attack?
You know what? But let me tell you something. The worst things that ever happened to me in my life, and I'm gonna leave it alone. It wasn't the white man that did it. It was black folk. And we need to cut some of that stuff out.
Oh, we just having fun. But yeah, when I go to the ATM, I'm not looking for white people. I'm looking for anybody who approaches me that's not supposed to approach me.
And some of these ninjas out here, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what spell check does on the phone.
I corrected. I go like, no, I typed what I wanted to type.
Yeah, and then just hit the little thing.
And
auto corrected.
Out here, out here doing everything they want to do.
Said what I said.
I got you. They doing everything they want to do out here, killing and carrying on.
It's militant.
I'm militant too.
We know, Brenda.
Well, Johnny, we need to just stop pretending like they just, if they just had a little bit more money, if they had this, if they just had discipline at home, they would do things different. So I ain't gonna even go there with that.
But see, it's hard.
But what are we talking about today?
I don't know, because it's hard to whip your kids at the nail shop. They're going to certainly cause defects.
Talking about whipping the children. I'm talking about.
I thought you were talking about discipline.
Discipline is not whipping. Discipline is just
yes,
having.
Yes, it is. Right. I bet you. There's a whole lot of things I have not done in life because of a whipping.
Hey, Johnny. So who did Deacon Clark's wife marry?
What?
Who did she marry?
I don't even know who that is.
You know Bobby Clark that passed?
I have no idea.
That's today's topic, not necessarily her.
No, but I have no idea.
Oh, she married. I think she.
So we talking about cougaration.
We talk about jaguars. We talking about older women and younger what? Men.
Let me. Yeah, this is a bombshell for me,
Johnny
people.
Stumped?
Yeah, because I had no idea that was going to be the subject matter
I sent
today.
it to you in the.
But
thread.
why? But okay. So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm so serious because you specifically said you were talking about the cougars,
right? And the jaguars, because a cougar is somebody that's 10 years. They're like 10 years older than their. But a cougar can be. But the jaguar can be like really, really out there.
So like Cher is 77 and her boyfriend is 35.
I saw that picture and I'm like, she would look like she was barely keeping her teeth closed. I bet she bought him a
Cher
PS.
looks good to me.
I bet you.
I think she looks phenomenal.
No, she don't. She looked like she got so much plastic on. And then when people get
Now
old.
look, now you can take any woman that's on Facebook with all these my puzzle pictures and all that.
Listen,
man, these ladies don't look like they look in person.
Listen,
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you
And I
do.
do
But I'm
too,
just
and I do
saying,
too.
you know what I'm saying.
Johnny, you look
Pick
at
up your
Cher.
phone right now and look at it.
Johnny, you look at
I'm just
Cher.
saying, I meet these girls, I'm like, you look familiar. And then they go, well, you hit, beautiful on my page. And I'm like, then I look really hard. And after I look past the layers of makeup and stuff, and I'm kind of, oh my God. Or when I see them without the makeup, I'm going, I don't know her.
When you look at Cher, and I looked at, I mean, I really just gave her face a
But give my puzzles a break.
Listen, she has so much Botox and filler in.
Yeah, she got a lot of
she's got a lot of plastic that's done to her.
I can't tell, so I'm sorry.
But you know what? Let me just tell you something.
But I would imagine she does, because
as your friend.
But I got an aunt that's 102, and I got more wrinkles than she got.
Listen,
and I know she hadn't had Botox.
Johnny, as your friend, as your real friend, and Emily can attest to this. You need to be able to look at these women and know when they've had a little work done. You need to be able to look at them and know when they got on a lace front.
But you can't tell because you can't see past the makeup.
I mean,
that's the point.
That's the point. If you can't, and I'm just saying.
But most ladies say they're just doing it to enhance.
Johnny.
But you all are saying they're doing it to cover up the scars and the things where they had all the operations.
I mean, it's both. It's all of that together. I mean, women that have the money that can afford Botox and all of these collagen fillers and lip plumpers and all of that kind of stuff, they're still going to go and put on additional makeup. Okay. Now, when you're talking about heavier cosmetic surgery, such as Cher is 77. As a female, I know that you don't look like that at 77.
Yeah, she looks.
There's no possible way
amazing
for you to look that way. And let's just be honest. The perk of being African American, we have melanin in our skin. Melanin allows our skin to age differently than our Caucasian counterparts. Mm-hmm. So simply because they don't have that I call it the liquid gold that our bodies contain, because they don't have it, they tend to wrinkle a lot quicker. Right. Their skin tends to sag a lot sooner than ours does. So when you have somebody that looks like Cher, I can guarantee you 100% without a doubt she's had multiple plastic surgeries done.
And then the thing about it, the reason why I saw her, and it's funny you said Cher, I saw her with her African American boyfriend. Okay, because he looked like he African American. Mm-hmm. And I looked at her and I said,
all black people are not African American.
Oh, you know what, Johnny? That's a whole nother show, because I hate to hear black folks say that right there. Because their origins is from Africa.
No, I didn't say they weren't African. I said they're not. All black people are not African American, is what I said.
Okay, well, you want to.
And you know what? What is his name? Smokey Robinson. I watched the interview that he did, and he says he gets so upset when people call him African American. He said, "I'm not African American. I'm an American. I was born here." He said, "My heritage is what it is." He said, "But I'm an American. I don't believe in African American, a Chinese American, a Spanish." He said, "If I was born on this soil, I'm an American citizen." And I know a lot of black people that feel that way. They don't want to be called African American or anything like that. They say, if you're going to call me anything, you can call me black, but I'm an American. I'm not an African American.
Well, you know what? I mean, we could just go on to a new segment there, because we can go there with that.
Now we could do both. We could multitask.
Well,
right. So, I mean, what do y'all think about that? Do y'all think, like, Johnny, what do you mind being called African American?
It doesn't bother me, because I'm a HOLLINGSHED.
You know what? See,
I'm just saying that's how I identify.
I celebrate my African American, my African heritage. I don't feel as though that I am quote unquote an American, and and no.
Wait a minute, you don't feel like you're an American? Wow.
Why not?
I don't.
Why?
Because if I were, I would have been born free. If I were, if the Constitution, the way it was written, applied to me when I came into this planet, into this body, then I would have been treated 100% like a citizen. and I was treated like a second-class citizen until I was in the 5th grade. So don't give me that, oh, Brenda, you're American, you just, no, I was not.
That's
So,
interesting.
so you know, you can call me whatever. You know, I mean, I will answer to that. But when you talk about an American, yeah, I was born on the soil, but the soil didn't want me. And if it did, it would have treated me much better than that. And it would also have treated my children better than that. And it would have treated my community better than that. Instead of having us, you know, a lot of African, you know, if you want to call it black folk or whatever, however you want to identify, have, you know, you're in the cesspools of the city because there are areas that, you know, that other groups don't want to live in. So don't give me that.
Okay. I respect that.
No,
I don't really care as long as you don't call me out my name.
That's true. But I this, you know, that I do know that there are a lot of people that don't know what to call people like me. They don't know whether to call me black or white or
If
whatever.
somebody called you mulatto, would you be offended? Okay.
But what a person can do is just call me by my name. That's probably the safest thing. They don't even try to anyway. Race is just is a social construct. There is no such thing as race. It's not. It's something made up. The Germans made it up to distinguish themselves. All of us is just one race. It's the human race, per se. In whatever land you come from, that's what land, you know, I mean, you can take and identify with a land if that's what you choose. But this race business is just some made up mess.
Well, the Germans certainly contributed a lot to it. And what another thing that we don't ever talk about, or I never hear about very much, even when I was in school, we hear about the Holocaust, but we don't hear about the treatment of blacks in Germany during that same period of time. That we don't talk about that, and that behavior against black men and women was very prevalent.
What
they were making extra sure that black men didn't have any babies by their white women and their white
but I'm going to say this about a lot of times with
white men didn't have any babies with black women.
But you know, I'm just
they
gonna
were
say,
sterilizing them.
But all I can say is just historically, a lot of times black folk or whatever you want to call us, you know, are just really intellectually lazy, don't want to do the work. Why would you ask somebody that oppressed you to teach you your history? That's crazy. Why would you expect the same system that put you in shackles to come in and take the shackles off?
Well,
and you know, so you know, with this, I'm like, we need to really kind of pull ourselves up, you know, and do some stuff on our own.
Well, but see, a lot of that is a result of this is a country that had the ability to rewrite, to overlook, and to erase our history. So, because they had the power to do so, because they were in control.
By the way, and they're doing it right now. And they're doing it right now. We're removing books and things like that. And I'll go back to the initial subject matter of when we started out, why it's important for you to vote.
Yeah. So we got to get back to the Jaguars too.
You know, but I do like, you know, when you were talking about, you know, the identification of, you know, how do you identify? I just think that, you know, for me, I think it's very important to always celebrate, and this, you know, especially during Black History Month, or we're just really all throughout the year, celebrate who I am, where I came from a lot. And that's why I just celebrate where I came from.
You know what I always had a problem with since I was a young kid was Black History Month. I always thought, why do we accept them having us celebrate a month when Black history is constant and it is a living thing?
Well, who is they though? Why can't we just do our own stuff?
No, what I'm saying is,
I think it was made for them to, you know, to make themselves feel better by giving us a whole month. Like Johnny's saying, you know, for us, we live Black 365. You know, we live it every day. So, you know, this is true story. I had a Caucasian customer come into the store and she asked me, I mean, she was adamant. This was 2 years ago. during Black History Month, and she was just like, I bet you're excited. And I said, for what? And she said that for Black History Month. And I just looked at her like, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
and but I mean, and she goes on, she didn't take the hint. I just gave her this look like, okay, where is this going? And so she says, well, what are you going to do to celebrate Black History Month? I said, I'm going to get up and come to work tomorrow. And the look on her face was just, it almost, she clenched her pearls. And I said, respectfully, I live Black 365 days. I don't just pick a month out of the year and decide I'm going to live Black for those 29 days or 28 days. And so she was like, oh, well, I didn't mean, anything. But I said, no, but I think I need to let you know. I said, I wasn't offended by it. It's just odd to hear somebody ask me what I'm going to do for Black History Month. Nothing. Well, I'm Black every day of the year. I'm going to get up and come to work tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do.
And I think that is so true. And that's what I feel about the history.
Right. That was created so y'all could feel better about yourselves, not us.
I think we did it. I think, and I was it Carter G. Woolson that did Black History? I think it's, Johnny. Wasn't it Carter G. Woolson that
sounds about right.
I think that's about right. So it came out during the segregated part just to make sure that Blacks did Negroes at that time, just basically celebrate, who they are and where they come from and things like that. But February has been a tremendous month, and it's been a nice focus, on actually, going in and taking a look at history. But I do feel like our history, quote unquote, and I say our collective Black folks' history, is something that we should focus on ourselves and not expect anybody else to really focus on the way we do. Mm-hmm. But, to me, a lot of us are too busy celebrating and embracing culture that's not even productive to our well-being. Mm-hmm. Don't want to vote, don't want to do certain things, not motivated, don't want to go to school. Not all of them, but a lot of us don't, children don't want to do. So, and I'm not talking about my baby Jimmy, because I love Jimmy.
Oh, well, thank you.
Jimmy is so, and Johnny, this is what I'm going to say about discipline. Jimmy comes around you. I have never seen Jimmy with his pants hanging down. I've never seen that.
Me either.
I mean, I'm just, and I hate to put him out like that, but I've never seen him.
He's just a respectable young man.
And that's where I'm going with it. Hair always, like nicely cut, clothes and everything. That's what I'm talking about. Discipline and, creating and having him to do things that was unpleasant that he didn't want to do. Mm-hmm. But you made him do it though, because it was the right thing to do.
And still do.
But it wasn't this kind of thing of, well, I don't think that he need not to do that because it gonna hurt his self-esteem if he don't do that.
Yeah, no. I think it's just it's Raymond used to always say that we grew up together because I had Jimmy young, and at the time, I thought it was just the absolute worst thing. I had him when I was 18, and I was ashamed, I was embarrassed. How you run the guilt trip, they just make you feel less than when you have a child out of wedlock. And so I went through a really difficult time because my grandfather was a pastor. So back where I'm from, everybody knew us, and it was shameful to be the pastor's and my grandfather was very well known. Like I told you, I mean, he hung out with TD Jakes. Like we were well known in the community. And so obviously when I got pregnant at 18, I had to go hide in shame. It was, very shameful, but I was brought up very well. And I've always been a believer that things change, and we know things change and discipline styles change, but I still think that nothing was wrong with the way that we were raised. Like it made for decent human beings. Now, of course, we become adults and we make our own decisions, but I've always had the mindset when I had Jimmy that my grandfather, I thought, was the astute, the most perfect man ever. I compare every man to my grandfather. Like, if you ain't like, no man can hold a candle to my grandfather. So I always felt like, if he did it this way, and, his children turned out decent, and, like, and my mom raised me this way, I'm gonna raise Jimmy that way. And I did raise him that way. And he turned out, for the most part, fairly decent, compared to his counterparts. But it was a difficult thing, because you had his friends, that wanted to do this and they wanted to do that, and then you had parents that wanted to be their kids' friends. And I'm like, I don't get how you can. So messy.
It's coming.
Emily.
You
I walked into it. You walked into it. You just, I set it up for
It's coming.
and it's on this subject matter. How would you feel if a 50-year-old woman came after Jimmy?
I told you it was coming.
Good. Well, that's a perfect segue into today's conversation. Yes or no?
Why?
Because she don't want but one thing from my son.
But what if she really loved him?
Yeah, I love him.
No, seriously. So now you think that love is determined by age?
No, because there was a 25-year difference between me and my husband. So no.
I see her face everywhere I go, on the streets and even at the picture show. Have you seen him? Him. Oh, tell me, have you seen him? Well, I mean, Emily, you opened that door right up. You reminiscing and thinking about your love, and I understand it.
But Emily, it's interesting that you would say that, because I too have, a son. And if somebody 80 was coming for my son.
But what if she had like $100 million?
I don't care what she got.
But what do you think he think?
I think
if he was
being in that situation, I think differently, because I've been there. I've dated somebody, someone that was older, and I understand that when you are young, there's just certain things you do not know. You just don't understand because you haven't lived and experienced life.
How old do you think you are when you have lived long enough to know those things you speak of that a person doesn't know?
Let's say, for instance, my son is 40 and he decides to get with a 55-year-old.
No, if he decides to get with a 70-year-old.
That's ridiculous.
I mean,
is that your business?
Ridiculous, but at 40, if that's what he chooses to do,
but you know what? Though,
what else am I going to do?
But let me just say this: I think that when young, I'm just going to take that.
And what do you call them again? Jaguars?
Yeah. Let me just say at that
that's
age.
What I thought.
We were just joking when we said
Jaguar.
Okay.
But at that age, okay, let's say you 60 something, like some people out here in this community. And I ain't throwing no shade on you, my sister, because I'm proud for you. You happy, I'm happy too. But when you reach a certain age, your body tear down and break down, ain't that right?
Not for everybody.
It does.
Not for everybody.
Because age doesn't. And you were talking about share. Age, you're going to age.
We're not using share as a marker here.
No, what she's saying is that your body naturally ages. She doesn't say, she's not saying that at 60 you're going to be decrepit and walking on a cane.
But I see some people who are 25 years old and their bodies are the body of a 90-year-old person.
We ain't talking about those people. We're talking about in the context of those, when you're with an older person, okay, whether you like it or not, their body is deteriorating. And when you're
everybody's body is deteriorating.
Exactly. But when you're at a certain age and you're a younger person, a younger man, like his mama need to have a conversation with him. Baby, she's gonna be in depends in a while. Okay.
And then he'll just help her change him.
He ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna go get her stick. With her knees.
Now here's the deal. This is the question I wanted to ask you.
But I guess if she was to buy him a PS5.
Here's a question that I wanted to ask. So all throughout the tossing around of this subject matter, you were talking about cougars and things, it was always a male, female, or female, But so if a 70-year-old or 60-year-old female starts romantically pursuing a 25-year-old female, is that a cougar as well?
Either way, it's still a cougar.
Okay, I'm just asking.
A cougar's a cougar, and it doesn't really matter. But all I can tell you is that I look at stuff like that, and I'm like Emily. I wouldn't want to ride my child. I don't want nobody like that. In fact, I figure she up to no good, just like it would be if it was a man. I'm like, don't bring your old self around my child like that. You're going to take and rob him of the chance of having children. Now, that's the difference, really, between an older woman and a younger man. She robs him of the.
So what if he already got 3 kids?
But that's regardless.
I'm just asking.
It doesn't matter how many children you have. I'm just saying that he can't have a relationship that's going to produce children.
And I'm asking again, Johnny, what if he already got 3 kids?
Johnny, that has nothing to do with. That's beside the point.
So you saying every? Go back. So what y'all? Wait a minute, hold up. What y'all saying is that every relationship should produce kids.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I'm just asking.
Okay. So let's say this. Let's go back, because I like to. Let's go back, and traditionally in history, even we go back 1,000 years, 2,000 years to the biblical times, it was common for men to marry younger females.
Exactly.
Specifically for the reason of procreation, which is why still in others, I don't want to say other civilizations, but in other parts of the world still to this day, you have families that will marry their daughter off when she's 13 or 14, or when they have their first blood, is what it's called, right?
So you think that's the motivation for most guys who deal with younger women?
No, let me finish saying what I'm saying. I'm trying to establish a history here. So for thousands of years, that has been the case, and for that specific reason. Now we're in Western civilization, so our mindsets we have been trained to think differently. But all of my life, older men have always been with younger women for that obvious reason. Now, in the last 30 or 40 years, now you have these cougars, we're free and I do what I want to do.
So why do you think they do it? Women. What you said, men did it. Because they wanted to procreate. Why do you think the mindset of an older woman does
as an older woman who have been approached many times by younger men, what I believe is that they're looking for somebody to take care of them, and I'm not interested.
So you don't think that that's what a younger woman who
I don't know about a younger woman.
I'm asking. No, I'm saying
no. But that's not the conversation.
No, I'm not trying to get you to be intense. I'm asking a common sense question that counters what your statement was.
I don't know about a woman.
But I got to give a different point of view here because I'm not a woman. And so I'm asking, so since you say the man's motivation for getting with the older woman is money, then I'm asking, is that the youngest woman's motivation to get with an older man? Is it money?
Probably.
Okay. I just want to maintain that balance.
I got you. And get some place to stay. You would know about that, would you?
No, I don't. I live alone.
That's a shade, John.
I live alone.
That's
I struggle, but I live alone.
You know what, though?
So back to what I was saying, it made sense because women did not traditionally, in the last several thousand years, women traditionally did not go out and earn the bacon, make the bread. The woman was the homemaker, whether we're looking at homemaker in 2024 or homemaker in 2000 BC. The female tended to the children. The female stayed at home and took care of the homestead, right? And the man went out and herded the goats or, collected the meat or whatever the case, was. So that was the way the system was set up traditionally for thousands of years. And so now when you fast forward and things are starting, women are starting to become or come into their power, per se, in the last, I'd say since the 70s, really, of the women's rights movements and things like that. Women have gotten this idea, of dating younger men. And I have much older friends, and I hear everything, I just want to feel young again. They keep me busy. They keep me alive. They keep me, feeling young and vibrant. And then I know someone extremely close to me personally that did that and dated a younger guy. And he literally took them hook, line, and sinker. He wanted somebody to take care of him. And I'm talking about in the worst way. No job, no car, full of lies. I mean, we'll have to tell you the story off air. But I had to tell that person, you got to get rid of this individual because they're using you.
You know what?
And you think you're flattered because you're 70, you're 65, 70, and this 30-year-old is like, oh, you're so fine.
Right,
and you think like,
is she fine?
And well, yeah, I mean, she I would say for 68, nice looking. I wouldn't say she isn't, but at the end of the day, you're a man. Think of yourself at 30. What would you want with someone that's almost 70?
And let me just say this:
answer that. What would you actually want with a woman that's 70?
90,
and you're
90,
and you're not. Let's make
Brenda
it realistic.
said the ladies on life support.
Let's make it realistic.
Okay. We have somebody on the line.
Hello, Willie.
Yes, we all know that an older woman really want the young guys for their sex. You know what I'm saying? That really basically all they want is our good sex.
Okay, thank you, Willie. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Well, Willie, you sure brought it home.
So back to my question, Johnny. What would you want if you was 30? What would you want with a 70-year-old? What would you want with a 70-year-old?
I would think that she'd be able to make a homemade biscuit.
So you don't think a 40-year-old could make a homemade biscuit?
Nope.
Just the 70.
I'm just saying.
And what if she can't make a biscuit? Then what?
Well, then I'm gonna go to the next one.
But what she can do,
I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just teasing,
but what
y'all.
she can do, though, I can recall, Emily, it was great that you brought that up. I remember this lady.
Hey, Reggie.
That bought this lady a.
Reggie, I wish you'd call in. Give Reggie the number.
Did she bought?
Reggie married a young girl.
No, she bought.
See what I mean, Reggie? You need to call in, man.
She brought somebody a red Mustang.
What's the number, Emily?
The number is 478-250-1444. Again, that number is 478-250-1444.
Okay, now go ahead.
And he didn't marry a young girl. I mean, he married somebody his age.
By the way, what I'm saying is that this woman bought this guy this red Mustang. She was a lot older, but you know what, Emily? You talk about dressing young. They said, well, ain't no number on no age. But when you see somebody about 70 some, and they had on their stiletto boots and some hot pants, and they couldn't really wear them. Now, I know some 70-year-old women who can wear that stuff, and they look really, really good. But she did. And she was up there with him, and he was driving around, like young women in his car. He did a real dirty. But I do agree with you. What you're saying is that they tend to use older women just to get whatever they.
And you don't think that younger women do the same thing with older men?
Oh, they do.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. It's the same thing.
But we're just talking about the women. But yeah.
No, I'm gonna talk about the men too.
Oh,
that was today's topic was cougars. We never said we know why. Well, women do it. I mean,
they do it for sounds like the
But
caller said they're doing it for the same reasons.
No, the caller said specifically they are doing it.
That's why the women are doing it.
That ain't why women are.
But that ain't.
He said,
hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Sound like trombone.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, trombone. How you doing?
I'm all right. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. Turn the radio down. You can hear it. It won't make that noise.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
There we go. That should be it.
Yeah.
Okay, try it now.
Hear me now?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, is it going?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay. Yes, I don't think it's in. I don't. Around the question why was 30-year-old one older woman. A whole lot of maturity. Maturity. Peace.
Hold on, I need you to turn your radio off.
I don't have a radio on.
Okay, it's his phone.
Okay, it's your phone is a bad connection. Hang up
Do
and
you
call
have it
again.
on speaker?
I think I called in while I was on Facebook.
Okay,
Come
come on Facebook.
Can I hang up and call back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back. But you know what though? I think a lot of times what ends up happening, with the reverse is a woman can do what a man can't do when she's 90. When a man is 90, he have issues. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, you don't like
You
it, but
ever
it's the
heard
truth.
about the pills?
Pills can't keep pills.
Johnny.
Pills will make you
I'm
have
just
a heart
saying.
attack.
But all
Johnny,
these men are not having heart attacks.
Johnny,
I'm
no,
telling you.
Johnny, that's just your experience.
In the barbershop, when I'm at the barbershop,
They lying.
Johnny.
and
You've admitted that men lie to other men.
And you don't think
because
women lie to other women?
Johnny,
And you don't think that women's jealousy motivates a lot of their conversations? Like a lot of the reason why women have so much against some of these so-called cougar women is because no young boy is chasing after them. So then they get mad, and then they start this dialogue about she ought to be ashamed of herself. She should be ashamed of herself talking to that guy. But there are no 35-year-old guys trying to talk to her with her 65-year-old self. And so you don't think none of that's motivation? Could never be motivation. Oh my goodness. Women are more jealous of each other than any other part of
we're just more out with it. Y'all are just listen.
Y'all playing.
I deal with women every single day. It is literally my job.
I don't know any
have
men
from all different walks of life, rich, poor, different ages. I'm telling you, men are worse. Women are just more vocal.
I don't know any men who sit around saying, "Look at what he got on. He know he ought not to be wearing that." I don't know any men that do that.
And
that's just you.
That's just you.
No, I said I don't know any men.
That's
a common thing with
women.
Hello. Hey, caller.
Hello.
Okay, that's much better.
It's strong on. It's ready.
Hey.
Yeah, man. That's another. His folks are from Sandersville as well.
Hey, talk to me.
Hey. Okay, what were we? Where do we end up? I heard
y'all saying the women were more mature.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The women now they're not as mature as the women used to be back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they were younger ages. So that's why younger guys now go towards older women because they don't get that much. It's a whole systematic thing, but they don't get respect. They don't get respect from the younger women. And I think vice versa. Younger women goes to older men because they tired of the foolishness with younger guys. With all the things that they go through and everything. You know, it's a whole lot of that stuff going on where neither one is sure, you know, about anything with each other because they see so much stuff outwardly, social media and everything. And they haven't seen, this generation coming up now haven't seen anybody respectful and respectful relationships and stuff like that. It's kind of scarce now.
I agree with you.
But yeah, that's why I think younger men or younger women choose older because they want maturity now. There's a lot of crap going on.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much for
calling.
calling.
They need to see things clearly.
Well, thank you. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you calling back.
All right.
You know, he does make a great point.
That a mature-minded young person does not want to deal with these people in their age group because most of the people in their age group are not mature-minded people. Now, that's what I got out of that.
But let me just tell you another thing, too. It's also economics because when they get to be a certain age, and it may be a man or male or a female, they have established some things and they tend to have a little bit more resources than somebody their age. Okay. And that's whether you like it or not. And whether I like it or not, that's the truth.
On both sides.
Both sides.
I agree.
But
there is a section of people who are just like what he said, that they're young, but their contemporaries that they're around are immature on the male side and on the female side. And their motivation for talking to somebody older is not money. Sometimes it's just the conversation. Sometimes it's the companionship. Sometimes these people build together. Sometimes this person might have resources, but they might not know how to maneuver in today's electronic world and maximize their monies. And so then he gets a younger person who knows how to maneuver and do all that. And then they go, you know what? Sometimes the scales are unbalanced. But hey, if we got common goals, we can still make it together. I think that there are some people who are just in it for the physicality. I think that wholeheartedly. But everybody's not. I don't think that's a blanket statement.
What physicality with an old man and a young woman?
See, I think you missing the boat.
I ain't missing the boat.
Because
I ain't missing the boat because I got on it last week when I talked about.
Because like when I was a kid, you know what? Hey Brenda, my mother was 37 years old when she died. Until I became 37, All my life, I looked at my mother as an old woman. From the time I was born up until the day I was 37, actually, I thought 37 was old. And so then when I got to be 37, I found out 37 is not old at all. But now maybe it's some other guys that I grew up with that I look around and see. And since they've been 37, they look like they were 103. But I'm saying sometimes
Like
it comes
Morgan
down.
Freeman.
Yeah, sometimes it comes down to your own genetics and your own genetic makeup, because all of us don't age at the same rate as our number says. So I just think that you all have some valid points. I do, but I also think that it's not a blanket statement. I just don't believe that.
I don't think we said it was a blanket statement, or we was trying to make it seem like it was a blanket statement. I do think that, unfortunately, the way our world and our culture is set up, it's just different. And you know, it's something my grandfather used to say, and I would ask him about certain stuff all the time, and he was like, you know, baby girl, it just is what it is. That's just the way it's always been, and that's the way it's gonna be. And this was coming from my grandfather, which, you know, I would consider he was a very educated man, a scholar. And he would literally say, you know, some things just are the way that they are. And so I believe when it comes to that, until the dawn of time, until this world is no more, older men will always date younger women. I just think that's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. And I think it will always be frowned upon that when older women date younger men. That's just the way it's going to be. And for
I think it's going to be
reasons,
frowned upon by women.
No,
it doesn't matter whether it's frowned. Who frowns upon it? Because women frown upon it either way. You have the ones that are going to look down at the woman like you ought to be ashamed. You robbing a cradle. It's the same thing that I used to get with my husband. Was, oh, look, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You got that young girl. What you doing with that young girl?
Hey,
so
Emily,
I think it goes either way.
All I'm saying is, like, I think it's more prevalent that you could see 2 or 3 older ladies, 60s or 70s or something, and they'll be more apt to say, look at her, that little young boy.
No, they won't, because I'm 60
and
70.
I think
I'm 60 and 70.
Okay,
and
not Brenda, except Brenda. But I think it'll be very common for an older 70-year-old guy or whatever he is, and another 70-year-old guy seeing with a young girl, they probably slap high five.
But you know what?
Boy, I hear you, boy. I hear you, boy.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm.
That's what I.
It is not
what I said.
And so then
until the dawn. I mean, to the end of
what
this
I
world,
said,
men will always high five other men when they see.
So why would they frown upon it then? They are not frowning upon it.
Women.
Oh, that's what I said. And I thought you said everybody. I'm like, no, not everybody.
No. I'm saying women will frown upon both.
Right, but men won't.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course not. Men used to give Raymond high fives all the time.
Way to go, butter.
Hey, you got that younger. And he used to, and I hated it, but they used to be like, is that your daughter? He'd be like, no, that's my wife. And I just be like, oh my God.
Who's that again? Emily said that?
Oh my God.
I see her face everywhere I go on the street.
Y'all got mental problems.
The pictures show. Have you seen her? You might as well go and give in, man. Go on back home. Please come home for Christmas. Hey, Brenda, that's what we're going to catch him singing next time. Please come home for Christmas.
Y'all so messy.
We just want you to know that Emily's language is going to change toward us once we get off the air.
Right, and be sure and go to our Facebook page, because we'll be having a little after show, just a little live video in the studio. Y'all can get y'all get a chance to hear the inside scoop, the stuff that they won't let us say on the Christian radio show. You know, they'll let us say everything, but we get ready to put it out there.
But Brenda's people are from Sandersville as well, Reggie.
So they from the country.
See you next week.
That's right.
All right, guys. Same time, Monday, 5:30 p.m. We love you guys. We'll talk to y'all next Monday.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300E.